Hi folks, Rick here. Welcome to Team 2 Gils. All right, well today we're going to be swapping out the carrier bearings on this thing here. Over the winter I was looking at them there. I don't think they're necessarily too bad. The problem was with them, I could not get my axle out, and so I'm a little concerned there's a little rust in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them down and inspect them, but if I got it down that far and put new bearings in there regardless of what they are. So it's a really easy process providing everything works. I'm hoping I can get my axle out. That's where it was a problem. The last time I really wasn't going to do a whole lot. I was just inspecting it in there and I couldn't get the axle out. So I haven't had a chance to really work on it since. So a couple things here you want to do. On this one right here, it's a 2018 Yamaha Raptor. On the axle nut, there's a couple of set screws. You want to back those off. And you want to get some type of a wrench. So this is an actual axle wrench here. Axle nut wrench goes on here. So before you take your tires off or do anything else, break loose. Get like a big breaker bar or something, or a big wrench. Break that nut loose first. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and remove our tires in that step. But right now, it's really easy to do. You can hold it. The wheels are on the ground. That'll help hold it for you. You can always stick your foot on the brake, and kind of do it that way. It's a little bit of a, kind of do some acrobats sometimes there. So let me go ahead and see if I can break this loose. I'm going to go ahead and pull these little set screws out first, and then we'll kind of zoom in here where I can show it to you a little bit better here. But right now, I'm just going to loosen up these set screws, and then from there, we'll go ahead and pull out the axle nut. And so you want to make sure when you put these on that you use some Loctite, like some blue Loctite. Even with blue Loctite, you may need to use a little heat there to get it back off. These ones so far coming right off. I put a little bit of penetrating lube on them. Sorry for getting away from the camera here. There's not a lot to see. Holy cow, that really wasn't all that tight. Probably should check that a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get reset up here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my tires off, and then I'll get reset up for you. All right, folks, I'm back here. So a couple things here. Just a couple of tips here as we get going here. So I'm ready here to pull my axle off here. And this is about a 24 millimeter. You got to pull out the cotter pin. This is something, a couple things there. If you got an air ratchet, use that. I could not find mine, so I had to put the wheels back on, let it down, and then get on it with a big wrench and take it off there. But it's nice if you got an air impact wrench, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, before you get your wheels completely off, go ahead and loosen this. Go ahead and loosen your axle nut like we did before. And then right in here is, I went ahead just because it was a little bit easier with the tires on, just loosen my carrier bearing here so I could get the chain off. So that's kind of where I'm at. Actually here, now what I want to do is go ahead and tighten this one back up a little bit here, so when I go ready to remove everything there, it comes out pretty good. In fact, I might just wait till I get the brake caliper off on that one. So let's go ahead and finish getting, let me find my wrench here, finish getting this hub off. Hopefully this thing here just pops off really easy. It'd be nice if I get a little bit of luck going. Sorry if my head's in the way. There's not much to really look at here. Let's pop that off. So I grease the hubs. They come right off when you do that. Good reason to keep up on that one. So I got that. From this point here, I'm going to go ahead and get my axle wrench here. I'll go ahead and pull off my brake caliper here first. Just get a few things out of the way. I think that's a 14, not mistaken. This is way too long with extension. Okay, pull off the little conical washer. Slide off my hub, brake rotor. All right. Okay, so right here to get this bracket here off, there is a little snap ring, so I'm going to go ahead and just take that off here real quick, get that out of my way. All right, sometimes things go easy for me, sometimes they don't. I'll take this off, the little slider off. All righty. So right now the axle's ready to come out. We just need to, I'll try to get a little socket right here in a board and tap on this. This is where I got stuck the last time. I didn't want to come out. So let me get reset up. Hopefully this thing pops out. Then we'll go ahead and remove our carrier. I don't want to remove the axle and the carrier as one unit. So anyway, let me get after it and hopefully this thing all works. All right, folks, I finally got the thing. So you want to slide like a socket over top of your thread so you're not doing it. If you can find one you don't mind ruining. I had to go up and buy a heavier sledge. I'm not sure why it's so stuck. That's kind of one of the reasons I've been really wanting to get this out, to see what's going wrong with it. So I got it popped out there. I think it was just stuck. I'm gonna make sure I really grease it when I put it back together. So yeah, so let me get reset up. I'm gonna pull the axle out here a little bit farther and we'll continue on. Okay, folks, here we got our test bearing remover. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. I'm gonna go ahead and use this bearing remover versus versus doing a lot of heat and stuff like that. So this thing here's got a little lip on the edge here that clips on the inside of the bearing and you pull it off. So we're gonna stick this in here. It's a tight fit. It's a little bit of a spring loaded, so I might have to just tap this thing in here just to crack. There we go. Stick this little pin in. I need another set of pliers. Just a second. All right. A little bit bigger set of pliers here, or a wrench, so I can tighten this up a little bit. This particular one takes a 40 millimeter. There we go. Nice and tight. Hopefully if everything goes right, we got our slide hammer right here. I'll screw this all the way in. Get all the threads all the way in on that. Then let's see, put the end here on. See if we can just pull this right back out. Whew. Holy cow. Whew. One's out. Ah, man. Yes, these bearings here actually feel pretty good. But, yeah, darn sure going to get replaced. So that's it. I'm going to flip around to that side, and then we'll pull this thing out, clean it up, and reverse the process. Okay, folks, so I'm out here at the barbecuer, and voila, I have my kit in there heating up. I've got my bearings in the freezer, so I'm going to quickly grab this quick, throw it on the bench, and we'll get back to videoing. Okay, got my bearing carrier here. Open these up here, put just a little bit of lube on the outside here. Heck of it, hopefully this will go right in. See if I don't get burnt. Let's push that one all the way in. Oh hell, it went in pretty good for a minute. Okay, that one's in. Flip this bad boy around. If it's loose, you might have to stick something like this on the bottom, but it's not. I'm going to stick my my center. Don't ever forget this thing here. I grease it as well so it doesn't rust. Okay, let's see if we can get lucky with this one here as well. Not as lucky. It's probably cooling up, so we can get it on here. That is good right here. Yeah, looks like it's getting. Here we go. Just a hair crooked there for a minute. All right, those are all the way in. I'm gonna let this cool, and then we'll go ahead and put the seals in and get the bands in, and we should be in good shape. All right, let's cool off a little bit there. So this is a all balls bearing carrier rebuild kit. Comes with those two bearings, comes with seals, comes with your little O-rings here. So we're gonna go ahead and put these on. You've got this lip here, if you can see here. This goes on the outside, coming up this way. So we can just kind of push these in here, hopefully nice and easy. Should go in, not too bad. Need my glasses here a little bit. Here we go. It's in there. You can use a little bit of a seal press there. I just didn't want to do that. Let's try it by hand. I'll put this back one in here. Hopefully I'll get lucky with this one as well. Press them in by hand. Okay. That one there's in. We're going to slide this little seals on here. You're all getting this. So there's one that goes all the way up here. Then there's one right in here. You just got to be careful. It's like a half moon. You want the flat to be up against the bearing carrier and then the round part to face out. So we're just going to kind of wiggle this one around in here. Hopefully wiggle it around here to get it around. There we go. Just slide her on here, being careful with it, at least careful as I can, doesn't get cut or something. There we go. This one here, a little farther. Okay, I'm almost ready to get it in this slot here. When we put it in the slot, we want to be careful that it's flat and it's not twisted anywhere. So when you get to this section here, you can just see I'm kind of easing it up in there. There you can kind of see it just went in nice and flat. Kind of goes in there just like so. So that one there is looking pretty good. I'll slide this other one on. Should be a little easier, hopefully. Yeah, that was easy. So it just goes in there just like that. That's really the extent of it here. So what we're going to do now is going to put a little bit of grease on the outside of here, and then I'm going to pack this in here as best I can, like in this, between the seal. Hope you can see this, between the seal and this lip. I'm going to force grease down in there on both sides as much as I can. That just you know, helps keep the water out. And then we'll go ahead and put this back in, and then we'll go ahead and get our axle back in. But this is really about it. It's really just being careful, you know, taking your time. As you can see, not everything went perfect for me, but pretty simple job. So let's just keep at it here, and we'll finish this thing up and be done with it. All right, folks, I got my carrier bearing here and ready to put this thing back in. Let me double check. Looks like I got a little dirt on there, but I want to make sure that everything in here is looking good. This little seal's not looking all that good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and slide this in here. There we go. Need to get my little dead blow hammer here. Let's give it a little tap. So give me a quick second. Okay, in there nice and good. So I'm going to put me a brand new seal in there now that I got it apart. It's just going to slide in here like so. There we go. All right, folks. So again, I'm going to pull these back out and do some Loctite once I get everything in there. But it's important when you're putting these things down here, don't just tighten one of the darn things. You want to tighten them all down evenly. So I would start with the middle two here. Just put a little bit of snugness on them, and go to the out ones. I'm just going to snug this in here for a bit. until I get my axle and stuff in there so it doesn't want to slide out of me. You don't have to really tighten them all that much, just kind of snugging them up, but do them kind of evenly. Double check them. There we go. So that's in there really good and tight. Alrighty, whew. It's now time for my axle. So I'm going to start here again by putting some grease here. I want to put some on this seal, outer seal here just a little bit. I'm going to do this whole inner part of this axle. It's just going to be a mess, but that's all right. We'll clean it up after we're done. So there's another little seal. You remember the one we put on our sprocket? We got another seal that goes right there. But I'm going to go ahead and put the axle in first. And then we'll go ahead and do that. So I think I'm pretty good here with the grease. We'll fill it in as we go. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get this axle to slide in. All right, folks, we're going to stick our axle in here. Make sure you put your chain around your axle, unless you got a master link. Otherwise, that will be difficult getting off. Slide your axle in. Hopefully it goes in nice and easy, just like that. Be careful of your seals and stuff. There we go. Keep a little pressure on it here. We're going to stick our other little O-ring on this side. Be very careful when we stick it on here. Where's I going to have a screwdriver somewhere? Let's see if I can just point with this thing here. It's not going to do it. Nice. Ah, for Christ's sakes. I don't know what to do with all my screwdrivers. All right, so I'm just gonna be real careful right here. Make sure it gets in there on the axle, just like it is. Take our hub here. We got our brake caliper holder on already. We got greased, nice and good grease in there. It's gonna make sure everything's in nice and good. There we go. Conical washer, the point sticking out. Then our axle nut. Put just a tad bit of Loctite on this thing. Not a whole lot, I don't like a lot on there. It does have set screws. Ah, man, this thing is just a pain. There we go. Let's take this now. Snug it on up. There we go. All right, that is snug. So from this point here, it's pretty much done. Just got to put our brake caliper back on. Gonna get our axle nuts, our axle hubs put on this thing. When you do that, grease them really well. When at the very end, I'm gonna come back and retorque this. Put the set screws in, put some Loctite on there. I'll pull out these after I adjust my chain for the final time and Loctite them. But that's really it for changing the carrier bearing out. I replaced the axle while I was in there. Obviously, if you're not doing that, you don't have to worry about pulling your sprocket or this hub or nothing on this side. Hopefully for you, the axle should just pop right out. You can see how easy it went in. It's supposed to come out that easy. Mine didn't. I suspect it's a little bit rusty in there or something. I didn't see anything, but man, it was a bear getting out. But pretty simple there. Again, getting the bearings out of here, struggled a little bit, had to use some heat and a puller. That's okay. You know, stuff happens like that. They went in there nice and easy. Yeah, just be careful what you're doing. Take your time, get your tools laid out, and it's a pretty easy job. So with that, you know, as always, hit that subscribe button and take care. We'll see you out there.